Jim Hachtel was born in Tucson, Arizona on March 5, 1959. His father, Fred, was a retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant, and Jim and his two younger brothers, Robert and Mark, grew up living on military bases. He says he had a tremendous love and respect for his father, the toughest man he ever knew. After his father retired from the service, he worked very hard every day to provide for his family when times were tough. The family is pictured here with Jim's grandmother, Rose. His mother, Rose Marie, helped Jim balance his life with a softer, gentler side. He says she loves her three boys very much and is always there to help them. She worked hard inside and outside of the home, and Jim says made their house a home. She worked as an executive housekeeper for a prominent hotel in Tucson, and Jim spent summers and weekends working for her and thought that was the career path he would follow. So he took a position as the hotel night auditor for the DoubleTree Hotel in Tucson, where he met Patty, who worked as the night shift manager of the coffee shop. No surprise, they chose the DoubleTree Hotel as the venue for their wedding on February 11, 1984. He describes Patty as the most important person in his life, and without her, his life would have taken a very different shape. He says she makes him the best he can be, gives him the strength and inspiration to be a good man, husband, and father, and fills his life with happiness. Very supportive of their two children, Kristen and Daniel, Jim was known as the prop dad and built and transported all the props used by the dance teams during Kristen's 12 years of competitive dancing. He was also an active volunteer and supporter during Daniel's 4 years of high school wrestling. He says he conducted many car washes. The whole family is pictured here with Daniel's wife Melissa and beloved pets Bama and Phoebe. Jim and Patty now have two grandchildren, Faith and Wesley. When the HR manager from the DoubleTree moved on to the C-store chain Stop and Go, she recruited Jim and Patty in 1982 to work for the retailers in Las Vegas. He was hired as a supervisor trainee and had to learn the business as a store manager. He says one day he found himself with the keys to a store, and with a pat on the back he was told, "Get it done." He had 1 week to get the store in shape for an inspection by the company's CEO. Having never seen a planogram, he worked 16 hours a day following the plan, beginning with the candy section. At the end of the inspection, he says, he stood at the head of the candy aisle and was greeted with a handshake and the words, "Best store in Las Vegas." He has never looked back. Jim spent the next 12 years working his way up from store manager to district manager, with some interesting birthday celebrations along the way. He says he has done everything in the C-store business, from running the midnight shift in Las Vegas on Halloween to managing the merchandising and assortment for more than 1,200 of the best C-stores in the business. Jim moved to Southern California and eventually joined Arco AM/PM in 1994 as a field supervisor, and again worked up the ranks to senior category manager for the center store. Jim says candy has been an important part of all that he has done in his career. As an operations leader, he always looked at the candy aisle first, and it told him all he needed to know about the store, the manager, and the operation as a whole. He says his success is due in part because he likes to talk to people about the business and likes the human interaction of being out in the stores. His best moments are when he is out in the field talking to operators about their business and talking to customers about what they are looking for. For Jim, the most memorable moments of his career have been when he has been able to help a store owner succeed. He recalls when he and his family were on a road trip and stopped at a mom-and-pop C-store for gas. He started talking to the owner, a veteran, who said owning the store was his dream, but he wasn't having a lot of success. Jim started giving him advice about the layout, merchandising, and assortment, and then helped him reset some of the sections of the store, all while his family waited for him in the car. In 2013, Jim retired, but only long enough, he says, to know he needed a new challenge. He found that with E.B. Brown as Vice President of Strategic Insights and moved to Chicago in 2014. He's pictured here alongside Gino Korolapnik and Brady Freeman at a company expo. At E.B. Brown, Jim directs Smart Process and Category Insights, its category management programs. His passion for the business has been recognized during his career. He has received the BP AM/PM Circle of Excellence 3 times, along with the top franchise consultant and top field supervisor for Arco AM/PM. He has also been an invited speaker at national industry events for NACS, the AWMA, the NCA, and Hispanic 360. He says mentoring is what he loves most about his job today, teaching people on his team about the business, Helping customers succeed and showing them the simple pleasure of doing something right and getting results brings him a sense of satisfaction. Jim serves on the Convenience Store News editorial board, the General Mills Distributor Advisory Board, the Candy and Snack Today editorial board, and the NCA Most Innovative New Products Award tasting panel. He was also a charter member of the Mars Wrigley Retail Advisory Board. He looks forward to ultimately retiring, again, and making up for lost time with his family and his dog Sophie, as so often his career came first. Being as passionate about his work as he is, Jim says he made sacrifices on the family side of the equation and has since learned that balance between work and home is critical for true happiness. Something people may be surprised to learn is that he and Patty love to spend time making holiday villages in their home. He also loves to fish, any fishing, he says, any day, anywhere. Another passion for Jim is backyard barbecuing, and he'd like to take it to the next level someday and open his own barbecue place. Last but far from least, he says he is excited about the idea of spending time going to romantic places with Patty. Honored guests, please welcome Patty as she presents Jim with his National Confectionery Sales Association Candy Hall of Fame plaque and pin on behalf of his family, colleagues, and friends.